Great, thank you for being here. And this is my first time speaking to a crowd. Actually, I came to Leipzig because I love the city, and secondly, Gavin was a really interesting person who organized this event. He called me from South America to invite me here, and I was like, I don't get it, you're sitting in South America and you're hosting an event here in Leipzig. What the hell is going on? So I thought, oh gosh, this is really interesting. And here I am. So yes, Tobias mentioned about how the entire device management has moved into the cloud, and we are on a very similar journey as MediaMarkt Saturn is. But my topic today, which is very relating to this, is called Identity is the New Firewall. That is because everyone wants to work from anywhere and everywhere. Right, thank you for that. So first off, start with a question. Who here still uses a VPN on a daily basis? All right, still quite a few of you. Well, you know what? I'm not surprised. Germany is always lagging behind a little bit in terms of new technology. It's it's not a secret. But yeah, if you want to use your mobile devices, you want to get email, you want to get all of your Office 365, Google Works from anywhere, AD is not the way to go. You have to go with a cloud identity. Right. Great. So how does this work? Now, a small leak will sink a great ship. Who here does not have a phishing problem? Oh, no one's going to raise their hand? Everyone's got a phishing problem? Yeah, we do too, I get, just this morning, I got an incident from my security operations center that someone clicked a URL and entered their password. It happens every single day. It happens multiple times a day. And this is what happens after perpetrators get the credentials. Well, they use them in quite a fast manner. So it only takes about 1 hour and 12 minutes to move laterally in your network. 1 hour and 12 minutes. Right? That is really fast from someone getting remote access to one of the devices, one of the credentials, and then moving to other devices. So last year, in the year 2022, $457 million was taken by ransomware gangs. And this is not going down. The cost of cybersecurity attacks was $8 trillion in the last year. In 5 years, it is estimated to triple. Right? The entire AI scene is only going to make this worse because companies are not the first movers in AI, put it that way. It's the bad guys, I have to tell you. So these are my topics for today. Let's start with the first one. So traditionally, everyone thought that this was a good idea. Who here thinks this is a good idea? Big wall, you can protect everything that's inside, all the crown jewels that you have. And this represents the firewall. And traditionally, thousands of years ago, there was the city of Troy, and the wife of the king of Spartacus was stolen and kept inside one of those walls. And her husband wanted to take her back. And it was obviously quite difficult to breach those city walls. However, it is possible, right? And what I'm trying to get at, also when they divided Germany, you can't fence something in. It doesn't work. You have to protect every data point, everything inside of that, right? So what did they do in the Great Trojan War a few centuries ago? Yeah, they brought in a Trojan horse, just like the phishing email I talked about a while ago. So you know that phishing email has some macro attached document, and someone is going to click on it. You know, not someone is going to click on it. It might not be the macro, it might be something else, but it's going to work. So in this Trojan horse, they had lots of military, and there was a present from the king of Spartacus to the Trojan city. He besieged the city for 10 years. He couldn't get in. And eventually he said, I'm going to give you guys a gift. So he gave them a gift. This Trojan horse was led in through the front gates. They said, oh, great, thanks for the gift. And then all the military personnel in the evening, they came out and completely took it apart from the inside out. This is exactly how it works with the network. So everyone knows this, you know, people work hybrid. That means working from home, not just working from the office. When I go to the office, only about 50% of the people are here. This is standard now. It's not going to change anymore. There might be some old school management who like to think that they're going to come back, but hey, it's not going to happen. They're just going to quit their jobs and get a job somewhere else. I would anyway. During Corona, I moved out to the countryside because I live in Munich. Munich is a really expensive city. I formed a family, you know, lots of other of my colleagues did the same thing. And so I moved 90 kilometers west to Allgäu near Kaufbeuren. Yeah. And I go to work now maybe 1 to 2 times a week to just do some networking, socializing, and the remaining part where I need to focus, I work from home. Right. Technology. All right, so this is our traditional identity. This is how it still looks like. Actually, we still have this on-prem identity of lots of domain controllers. We have lots of different offices. We have about 80 different offices and an equivalent number of domain controllers. A huge attack surface, right? You grab any one of these one domain controllers and you're screwed. So, also, which company do you think, I mean, when ransomware happens, what do you think they do? They take this apart. That's where you get injured. And then no one can log in. So the world's largest shipping company, I think it's a Danish company, Møller Mærsk. I don't know if any one of you have heard of this case. They had to completely rebuild this. Yeah, ransomware took the better part of it, and it was gone. Their AD was gone. Their on-prem identity was gone. So the on-prem identity is something like 20 years old, and it's single-factor authentication. Now, everyone always thought, oh, you know, you put a big wall, no one's going to get inside. Bullshit. Yeah? Someone is going to get inside. And the on-prem identity uses NTLM and Kerberos authentication. As I said, it's single factor. Once you have that, you can log in, right? So this is a problem. Now, what happened? So everyone wants to work from anywhere and everywhere. And so companies started to move to the cloud. And Microsoft Azure Active Directory is not that new. It's also, I think it started about 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, actually. But it's only been slow to be adopted here in Europe, I think. So yeah, what do companies do? They synchronize their on-prem identity to the cloud identity to Microsoft Azure Active Directory. And you authenticate against Azure Active Directory with all your Office 365, your SharePoint, your Outlook, you authenticate against that. But what should be the target picture? If you want to reduce your attack surface, you want to move to a cloud-only identity, really. Now, most companies have not, I don't know if many companies have that on their journey yet of where they want to go, because it's really difficult to do. We have it on our map, and I'm planning to achieve this, and it's not going to be easy. Now, our company is only about 13 years old. So BayWa Renewable Energy, we are a new branch of BayWa AG. And I think we can achieve this within, say, maybe 5 years. Because there's a lot of things attached to the on-prem world. To this on-prem world, you have all of your authentication for legacy applications, right? Everything that sits on-prem traditionally is used AD. All your printing services, all your domain joined devices, all your VPN logins. It's all on-prem. So some of you might have noticed sometimes you log in with your first name dot your last name, and sometimes you log in with your email address. Yeah, your email address, your cloud identity. The other part is your on-prem identity. So yeah, you do want to get to that. But it takes a lot of motivation, and it's a long journey. Now, let's talk about why your cloud identity is better. So your on-prem identity uses passwords, right? Now, once you have the password stolen, you can use that. Anyone introduced multi-factor authentication in here for their company? Great. Anyone realized how many people were doing password sharing when they introduced multi-factor authentication? I got calls from the CEO and everyone of the company saying, oh, my secretary can't use the password anymore because I need MFA now. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, I didn't think so, but yeah. So the point is, once you have the passwords, it's always on connection, always on authentication. You can use that to log in. Whilst if you're moving to a passwordless state, which we are currently, there's nothing to steal, right? Yeah, you can steal an authentication token, but it has a limited lifetime. And yeah, passwordless is the best user experience, and it's also the most secure way of authenticating. So yeah, we talked about this. Password sharing, it happens all the time. People write down their password, they put it on their desk or wherever, and they also enter it in phishing sites, credential phishing, so it's just bad. Also, you can crack passwords in a matter of hours, so it's equally bad. We should move away from it, but yeah, a lot of apps depend on it, so we can't. So it's always catch-22. But why else is the cloud identity better? And this is what I really want to get to. Every day there's about 80 trillion signals that Microsoft receives in order to make this the best authentication. Now, I'm not going to promote Microsoft here. You might also go with Google. They probably have a very good amount of signals. But what I'm getting at, the cloud identity is smart. It uses a lot of different information to determine if you are who you say you are, and if you are doing what you would regularly do on a daily basis. So, for example, it will look at atypical behavior for when you are one day you are at Bangkok, and then within a few hours you are in Germany, which can't happen. So simultaneous logins from different regions. Also anomalous behavior, like you're suddenly downloading a lot of data. Why are you doing that? You haven't done that the entire time. So these things might require you to use MFA. Also, if your credentials have suddenly been leaked in the dark web, then Microsoft will identify that and would automatically require you to do a password reset. So I cannot react fast enough to how many credentials are being stolen every day. This does it for me automatically. All right? And that's why the cloud identity is better. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed the session, and yeah, any questions?